All right, welcome. Semifinals. Let's get after it. We've already had 3 games in the docket. Hopefully, you guys have Puka Nakua. Hopefully, you guys somehow survived and got Kenneth Walker into some lineups out there. But there is a ton of questions that we have already before I even went live. We're over at 100 tipped questions. So I'm going to try to go rapid fire as best we can. Off the top, though, wanted to go underdog pick'em lobby, promo code the show. We have a Josh Allen give me. I've already used mine because I was a sicko and played it on the Saturday games, but it's just higher, lower, 0 yards out there. Make sure to get into the pick'em lobby. Josh Allen. We'll go over some pick'em notes throughout the show. After that, we have the weather report. I'm looking at Roto Grinders Kevin Roth. This game was already windy. We saw that. For the most part, weather not that big of a deal. We got like some cold games. Like turns out Cleveland is pretty cold in December. New York City also apparently pretty cold in December. We have like some wind, but really nothing too crazy here. Weather should not be much of a factor in this one. We'll have some news when it comes to the game totals for the week. Like Geno Smith's playing, but the team total's still really low. So got a couple stinker offenses, but for the most part, we got plenty of good offenses this week to keep track of. So let's go in terms of news real quick before I get to all your guys' questions, because we have a couple things on the injury report that I did want to get to. So the main one is Drake London. Drake London's coming back after missing about 4 weeks with a PCL knee injury. He went limited participant, and then DNP. He's got a great matchup against the Cardinals. Cardinals defense is banged up. Team total for the Falcons is actually really high. My read on the Drake London stuff is you need to play him. He's the wide receiver 9. This is about the right timeline for when a player would be coming back from a PCL injury. And I'm just looking at it from the Falcons' perspective. The Falcons have like nothing to play for. They don't have a first round pick. They don't have a chance to make the playoffs. There'd be no reason to rush Drake London back with Kirk Cousins out there at quarterback. So to me, this is just more of a situation where they wanted to take it easy in practice and then let Drake London cook in the games. So pick 'em lobby wise, you can see here, I think it's at 67 yards in the pick'em lobby. Yeah, he's at 67.5 yards, almost 13 half PPR points, 8.5 targets. Those are really strong numbers for Drake London. So I just don't think that there'd be a reason to like rush him back if he wasn't ready to go on the Falcons end. So I'm treating Drake London, added a little bit of risk to that, but nothing too crazy there. Next one after that, we have T. Higgins. So obviously really high team total against the Dolphins. He was a full participant. He traveled with the team. It's the concussion stuff. Is he more likely to have a concussion now because he's recently had them? Yes. Is his concussion odds really high this week? They're not. So he's my wide receiver 13. He's at 60.5 yards in the pick'em lobby. I think that T. Higgins is pretty much a must start. Where we get a little bit murkier is with Marvin Harrison Jr. He's my wide receiver 26. He was limited this entire week. And he already said he's going to be playing through an injury. I think he wants to go out there and play because he needs like the actual reps. And then in comes Michael Wilson, who's just like been out playing what Marvin Harrison was doing. So this one, I do have some kind of injury risk knocked on the Marvin Harrison stuff. That said, he's still at 46.5 yards in the pick'em lobby. So let me go over here. Marvin Harrison. Yeah, 46.5 receiving yards. It's the boom bust profile that we're used to at 3.5 receptions for his higher, lower. I have Michael Wilson actually ranked ahead straight up. So let me get rid of my freaking this whatever AI nonsense I got going on here. I'll do that in a second. Michael Wilson, boom. Wide receiver 16 for me. Even with all of them back, I think that we're in a good spot for Michael Wilson. They've just been dropping back way too much. And the team total is rock solid for them as well. You can see the Cardinals are over at 23 points over there. Maybe the biggest question mark that we still have is Woody Marks. Woody Marks is the running back 28 in his last 5 games. With Nick Chubb, he's averaged only 10 half PPR points, but his usage was actually crazy at 15.7 expected half PPR points. Really great matchup against the Raiders. The team total for the Texans, you can see, is at 26.5 points. It really just comes down to the injury report because we haven't gotten any information on if he's going to be playing or not. So we'll have to pay attention once we get the inactive reports for Woody Marks. I'm moving him down my rankings because of the injury risk, because he's only been limited and DNP'd with that ankle injury since he's been back. Geno Smith's going to play, so I moved Brock Bowers back up to tight end 5. I moved Ashton Genty up a little bit, and then Quentin Johnson, we don't know if he's going to play or not. So that's that. Weaves, I ran into that same problem, so if you can help me going back to the first super chats. Perfect. All right. Colin Peterson. Could you be okay with Igbukah over Sutton for upside? I don't like that call really at all. I want Cortland Sutton in my lineups. Cortland Sutton, you can see here, I have a pretty aggressive ranking this month. He's been the wide receiver 9, wide receiver 11 usage. They've just been passing the ball a whole lot more, and that's especially true against Jacksonville, who has the highest neutral pass rate allowed on defense. So I would go with Cortland Sutton. Thrill, Tyler Shuck or Stafford. I think we already did this one, and I went with Tyler Shuck in my rankings. Obviously got the Matthew Stafford call very wrong here. Carter Corum, estimate Kenneth Walker, pick one. I think I said Michael Carter and then Kenneth Walker were the two that I would be considering there. Parkinson or Fannin? Interesting. These are questions from it seems like a different day. I'm going to go back to here for now. All right. Pierre. Safety expect Woody plays, gets his normal work, could go estimate, but his kickoff is earlier. So there was Aaron Wilson, who covers the Texans. He said that he expects Woody Marks to go. I have not seen that from the national reporters, and he went DNP limited. So I think Woody Marks is probably not going to have his typical workload. So I have Woody Marks ranked as my running back 28. So I have estimate lower than that because I don't think that estimate has a huge ceiling. He was losing some snaps to Evan Hull last week, injured offensive line. Tyler Shuck doing some zone read stuff. So estimate I think is fine. He's a flex only type for me, but I would go with Woody Marks instead. All right, JD, let's go, boys. Good morning. Pickens, Michael Wilson, Ted McMillan. You can only play 2 full PPR. Okay. Well, I got to go with George Pickens. Matchup is not super easy against the Chargers, but they don't run a lot of types of coverages where they're going to be double teaming X receivers. So I like George Pickens. And then Michael Wilson versus Tedero McMillan is a very tough one. I got Michael Wilson just ahead of Tedero and McMillan. T-Mac's in a good spot, though. Bucks, they have a corner on injured reserve. They should pass the ball a lot more this week just because of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. Vita Vea stops the run really well. So I do really like Tedero and McMillan. It's just hard to bench Michael Wilson right now. Even in the last couple of games with Marv back, there's still plenty of usage there. So I'm going to go with Michael Wilson and Pickens. All right, not Tom Condon. Big Brock Purdy, Knicks, or Brissett. Congrats to Josh. Yeah, I'm on Brock Purdy. Their team total is really, really high. So Bo Nix is strong. Jacoby Brissett is still strong. They're all above average offenses. You can see them all up in this play. A lot of plays per game on top of that. Brock Purdy just running around. So I'm going Brock Purdy right now. JD, another one. Full PPR. Only wide receivers on the team are Tet and Igbukah. Been that way the whole season. Gibbs, Gibbs, H, and Etienne for the stack. Wow. Do I pick up one off the waivers to replace full PPR Coker, DK, Hollywood, Slayton, Mechie, Trey Tucker? No. I think Tedero McMillan is way better than the rest of this group, but I would say Igbukah is better than everybody else. I have Jalen Coker ranked a lot higher right now Jalen Coker is my wide receiver 38. And then I think you mentioned Slayton. He's my wide receiver 44. So there's that. Scott Freeland, full PPR, need a running back and a flex out of Estimate, Jawar Jordan, Woody Marks, Jordan Mason, Diggs, and then Adonai Mitchell. Okay. I think you got to go with one of the. It's not going to be Jawar Jordan because Nick Chubb is going to play. So you have to take the upside of Woody Marks just in case he can play this entire game. The team total for the Texans is really, really strong. So I want Woody Marks in there. And then Jordan Mason's getting more run, full PPR. I'm going to go Adonai Mitchell, though. Adonai Mitchell's like the wide receiver 15 in usage. So I'm going to go Woody Marks and Adonai Mitchell. And if Woody can't play, then I'd probably go Estime. And Kumar, Waller or Strange, and then Waller or Kincaid. Okay, so let's do the Darren Waller stuff. First of all, let's reset on Darren Waller in the Pick'em lobby. He's at 30.5 receiving yards. So that's pretty much in line with the Dalton Kincaid types out there, Mark Andrews, Jake Ferguson. So this is a pretty fair question. Strange's workload has tailed off just a little bit this month. I think that should be expected. You get Jacoby Myers back. You have Brian Thomas back and healthy. And then this week you get the Denver Broncos. So Jacksonville's team total, you can see, let me reorganize this. It's only at 21.5. So I would go Waller over Strange, and then Waller or Kincaid. That one's pretty tough. I think Waller's got a lot more chances of catching more passes, but then Kincaid's touchdown odds are about the same. So I would say that one's a true toss-up in my rankings. I think I have Waller one spot ahead, but maybe we get like a better Dalton Kincaid kind of report. So try to track that down. Joshua Kramer made to the semis in 4 leagues. Wow. All right. Full PPR, need 2 wide receivers. You got Worthy, Waddle, BTJ, Adai, Mitchell, Egbuka. Man, you pretty much listed off all of my like wide receiver 3 rankings. So I've got Egbuka, wide receiver 29, Waddle 30, Adai Mitchell 31, Worthy. I mean, this is like a prank call pretty much. Brian Thomas is 34. Yeah, so they're all about the same. So what should we do? I would still say Emeka Egbuka. He's not going to get the entire. He's not going to run a full complement of routes because Jalen McMillan's out there. They still are projected for 24.5 points. And he's still like getting targets. So I would go with Egbuka, and then Waddle has a downgrade at quarterback. I think Quinn Ewers is pretty bad, and then DJ Turner is no fun to go against. They also don't have that many other options to get the ball to, so I think that Waddle would be right there. But if you feel good about Adonai Mitchell, if you're watching any one of these games versus the other, they're all back-to-back in my rankings. So I would go with Egbuka and Waddle, but that one's a true toss-up. All right, X going to give it to you. Pick a wide receiver in a flex at half PPR. Harvey, Hampton, T-Mac, Ladd McConkey. Okay, this one's tough. I think right off the bat, RJ Harvey, he's just getting the rock way too much. So he's the RB4 in expected half PPR points this month. That's really impressive. That's 17. Those have been against some pretty easy matchups. Do you want to note that? But that's a lot of production and usage to kind of leave on the table. And then Hampton, T-Mac, and Ladd. That's really tough. So Hampton, I think, is going to start playing a little bit more, but they're not putting him into like the bell cow role. And it's kind of a pass funnel for the Cowboys defense. So he's at 11.45. And then let's see where McMillan is at. 10.55. So what did I say Hampton was? Yeah. I think they'll go with the running backs as well. So with Hampton, he got the goal line carry the previous week. So you can kind of see this like little boxed number on this chart. That means a goal line carry. He was the only one to get a goal line carry. This was his second game back, and the Chargers team total is up a lot higher. So let's go with the 2 running backs. And Maul, T over Marks in the flex. I think this is one where whoever has the best injury report news, if that's Jay Glazer, if that's Pelissero, Garofalo, Schefter, whoever has the best report, I would lean into that. My gut right now would be T. Higgins. But if they say Woody Marks ready to go starter no matter what, his upside is really, really high. So I'll go T. Higgins for now, but just waiting on final news. All right. Nick AK. Pick one for the wide receiver spot, another for the flex. Okay. Coker, Waller, Jalen Warren, Pittman, estimate. This is full PPR. So I think immediately I'm going over to Jalen Warren. He's more of a flex play for me, but that's okay because that's what we're going for here. This month, RB25, RB23 usage. You can see they're using their running backs a ton. Jalen Warren still the featured guy at the goal line. Kenny Gainwell, featured guy in the pass game. They are 7-point dogs. They're missing some offensive linemen right now. I would still go with Warren for the flex. And then wide receiver spot, Coker versus Pittman would be pretty close for me back-to-back in my rankings. I'll go Jalen Coker, even with Terrell McMillan back. I just think pass funnel defense, Tampa Bay missing a starting corner on top of it. I will go over there. All right, good question. Kind of big picture question here. How do I take into account teams that have nothing to play for because they're out of the playoffs versus those still fighting? I think ultimately it's pretty minimal once the games have kicked out. I think a better example would be Garrett Wilson. If the Jets were trying to make the playoffs, he's probably playing this season. Because he's on the Jets and there's nothing to play for, there's no reason to rush him back. But I think once the games kick off, you're not seeing like players being subbed out because the games don't matter as much. So once I know they're playing, largely doesn't really matter all that much. So for this question, full PPR, pick one. T. Higgins, Worthy, Franklin, Hollins, Gadsden. Yeah, this one would be for sure T. Higgins. Team total is really high. If he's healthy, he's going to play. All right, Kenton, flex, Judkins, Michael Wilson, Marks, or Carter. Okay, so you're on. I would, for full PPR, I'm just going Michael Wilson. I mean, he's been too damn good. I wish that Woody Marks was not dealing with an injury. Otherwise, I would say him. Maddie B. All right, you got Puka on Thursday Night Football. Started Swift last night. Yep. Need this win. Half PPR, start one. Michael Wilson, London, or Hampton. Merry Christmas. I would go with Drake London here. This is a spot where there's no reason to rush him back. That must mean he's just really healthy. So the injury report does scare me. It did move him down like probably 3 or 4 wide receiver spots because of that. But London's been balling out. So I want London. Jock Devu. Hey guys, Rashee Rice out. PPR flex. We got Worthy, Coker, Pierce. Okay. Of those guys, I forget if I have Worthy or Coker ahead. They're pretty similar to me. In terms of the pick'em lobby, 36.5 receiving yards to Worthy at 35.5. So we're in true toss-up territory. I'm going with Xavier Worthy because the Titans secondary is really bad. And when Xavier Worthy was the top wide receiver, he was getting underneath looks that he has not gotten since Rashee Rice came back. And how does Gardner Minshew move the ball? He throws the ball underneath. That's like pretty much the only way he can get home. So I'll go with Xavier Worthy there, and then Warren or Gesicki. I'll go Warren there, just with T. Higgins back. Half PPR, Quinshon, Marks, BTJ, Aaron Jones, Michael Carter. All right, off the top of my head, I got Aaron Jones, Quinshon, Michael Carter, Marks, BTJ. BTJ's on Sertan Island today. All right, Z. PPR start Wandale or Woody Marks. I guess I'll go Wandale. This is just the Woody Marks stuff. If he's fully ready to go, the Texans are projected for 26 points against the Raiders as pretty much 2 touchdown favorites. So if Woody Marks was fully healthy to go, ready to go, he'd be a top 10 fantasy running back for me. It does seem like he's actually questionable, and I'm assuming he plays and does not have the same workload. But these ones are tough. So I would go Wandale. Yeah, Jawar Jordan's just not going to be the guy because Nick Chubb is back with his rib injury. Michael Wilson or Sutton in 0 PPR. I'll go Cortland Sutton. The day's full as always. Brutal start with Jacobs and Parkinson. Need absolute upside. Would you go Bo Nix or CJ Stroud? I think upside would be Bo Nix. That game's expected to be a lot closer. There's a little bit of a kind of pass funnel going on with Jacksonville, and Bo Nix can still scramble around like a madman, get some quarterback design stuff. So you can see the team totals are really close. The difference is Jacksonville versus Denver. That's a close game. The Raiders being able to push the Texans, I'm not sure about that. So if you're like chasing for like who's more likely to get 30 points, I would go Bo Nix. CJ Stroud is playing a lot better though. So I have both ranked higher than usual. Jock DeVue, Coker or Adonai Mitchell. I think I got to go Adonai Mitchell there. Just he's done it more often recently. Coker is very good though. CJ, PPR pick 3, Tracy, Woody, Hampton, Carter, Brees, Myers. Okay, full PPR. I think the Jacoby Myers production has been too steady to sit, especially in full PPR. I wrote about Jacoby a lot because it's the Broncos. The slot is where you want to attack the Denver Broncos. They've allowed the 7th most receptions to wide receivers who lined up in the slot this year. That's where Jacoby Myers plays a little bit. He plays a little bit of flanker, which means he sees a little bit of Riley Moss. For the most part, Pat Surtain's probably going to be on Brian Thomas. There's like just a size speed element. So I think Jacoby Myers is largely safe. And then Tracy's in a good spot like him. Hampton, Carter. Yeah, I think I would go full PPR. I would go with Tyrone Tracy. He's catching a bunch of passes. I want Jacoby Myers, and then I want Omari and Hampton. Those are close though. All those are solid plays. Chief Perp, need a receiver and a flex. Michael Wilson, Sutton, Myers, Judkins, Marks. Okay. So I have Michael Wilson and Sutton ranked really close. I got Sutton ranked ahead. If this was in full PPR, I think I would go Michael Wilson though. But I want Sutton in there, and then Jacoby Myers. What did I say? He's right. He's right behind these guys. Do I like them more than Quinshad Judkins? If this is like half PPR, I think I would go Judkins. If it's full PPR, I would go Michael Wilson and Sutton. Another league, wide receiver flex, a bunch of the same guys. But you got Mike Evans, who's in the same tier. Dowdle, Hendo. Okay, I want Hendo for the flex, and then receiver. Yeah, it would be Sutton's ranked the highest in my rankings, but it depends on the format. My rankings are half PPR. And then Kelsey Kincaid. I'll go Kelsey, but the Kincaid, try to find a good report on how healthy Kincaid's going to look. All right, June Bug. Need some help for the flex, full PPR. Dowdle, Jawan Jennings, Omari, and Hampton. Huge congrats to Josh. Amen. Okay. This one's really tight. In full PPR, man. So Jawan Jennings, I have a really high ranking, but he doesn't catch like that many passes. Yeah, 4.5 receptions. He's just like pretty damn likely to score a touchdown. Hampton, meanwhile, will catch a couple passes. Yeah, 2. And then last one was Rico. Sorry. Rico Nasty. Yeah, so it's all close. It's all close. I will take my chances on Omari and Hampton in that matchup. Dallas Cowboys, higher team total than usual. He can rip off some big plays. So that's where I would go. Also, really quick reminder, while I got you guys, promo code the show over on Underdog Fantasy. We have a Josh Allen gimme right now, 0 yards, higher, lower over there. If you're in a prediction market state, We're now in 40 different states. That means you have sides, totals. There's a bunch of different options in terms of prediction market stuff. This is all brand new to Underdog. And then on top of that, we're dealing with our unwrapped promo schedule right now to celebrate the holidays. So lots of bonuses going down there right now. Josh Allen today, give me, use promo code the show. That's play 5, get 75, plus these bonuses. Good time to be alive. Mixed Mike. All right, dudes. Congrats, Josh. DJ Moore is ranked properly, appropriately this week. That's right. That's right. Pick 1, full PPR, flex. Brian Thomas, Coker, Michael Carter. Yeah, I'm going to go with Michael Carter in this one. Michael Carter, let's go over him because we're getting some Michael Carter questions. Let's knock this one out because I know there's a lot of you that aren't asking questions, but you have them. Last week, Bam Knight started the game, got the first couple touches. Imari DiMercado was the third down back. Once Bam Knight left, then for the rest of the game, this yellow MC, that's Michael Carter. Michael Carter was the lead back. Imari DiMercado played the whole game, but he was just in the third down pass game role. Michael Carter was the only one to get the goal line carry. I don't think anything's really changed. We got some confirmation that Michael Carter is expected to be the starter again. So since the James Conner injury, and that's pretty much what lines up with the Jacoby Myers games, there's been a lot of different RB1s in Arizona, but if you just look at who finished the game as the RB1, that person averaged 12.1 expected half PPR points, which would make him the running back 18 per game. The team total is above average because you're facing the Falcons. He's dealing with 3 backup offensive linemen. But in terms of like early down starter on a team projected for 20, almost 23 points, that's pretty good. So Michael Carter, I think, is a pretty strong flex play. Pick'em lobby, 72.5 yards right there. I like Michael Carter a lot. Like, acknowledging this is Michael Carter. Like, as much as you can like Michael Carter, that's where I'm at. Brendan Gabriel, Higgins, Evans, McConkey, Jawar Jordan. So we're removing Jawar Jordan from the equation. Nick Chubb is going to play at least. And I think Woody Marks is going to play, but still waiting on news. All right, so we got T. Higgins. T. Higgins got to be in. And then for the flex, Evans versus McConkey. I'll go Mike Evans. Still waiting on Quentin Johnston news. If you guys see Quentin Johnston news or Woody Marks news, anything like that, please flag it to me. Producer Mosho says Keon Coleman is a healthy scratch today. All right. World Glass window cleaning. All right. PPR Woody versus Michael Carter. I'm going Michael Carter right now. If a beat reporter wants to convince me that it's definitely Woody Marks and he's the man, I really want to say Woody Marks. They're projected for more points. But for now, I'm going Michael Carter. Then pick 2, Judkins, Dowdle, Waddle, Carter. Thanks. Best show in the business. Thank you very much. I want, just me out here today. I want Judkins and Dowdle, but Michael Carter's right there. K Weezy with the Saquon spin move in the Avi. What a game from the Eagles. Coker or Mitchell. Yeah, man, this one's really tight. The difference being is Adonai Mitchell, he's a wide receiver 16 in usage, which is my model. It takes targets, how close they are to the goal line, how close they are to the sideline, some other factors, how many yards downfield it is. So like all the numbers on like how likely you are to catch a pass. I convert that to expected fantasy points, and then I throw it out there. He's the wide receiver 16 in usage this month. And then Jalen Coker, who I love, he's the wide receiver 52 in usage. So Coker's been ripping off some big plays. He's more than capable of doing that. I actually think Jalen Coker is a hell of a player. But right now, usage is just on Adonai Mitchell's side. So going with Adonai Mitchell. Start to Pollard, Carter, Rico, Estime. Good question here. I'm going to go with Michael Carter and with Rico Dowdle. Tony Pollard, it's been awesome. Nothing's really changed about Pollard in terms of like the split. It's the same split that they've been going on. He's just ripping off big plays. I think there is something to that. Their offensive line feels a little bit better right now, but you're going to get some Tyjae Spears out there, especially like the 2-minute drill. The big difference really is just the team totals. So you have the Titans down here against Chris Jones, and then Rico Dowdle. They're projected for more points. It is more of a pass funnel, but that doesn't mean you can't get goal line scores. And then Michael Carter, more plays, more projected points, clean matchup. So I want Carter and I want Rico Dowdle. Brooklyn full PPR, Adonai Mitchell or Estime. I think full PPR. I'll go Adonai Mitchell. The Estime stuff, let's hit on that. So obviously Kamara's out, Devin Neal's out, and Kendre Miller has been out. Neal, when he was the starter, so Devin Neal got a couple games as a starter. He was the running back 28 on running back 33 usage. I think Devin Neal is better at football than Audric Estime. So does the NFL. I also think that Devin Neal can play in every situation, and Audric Estime cannot. So last week, after Devin Neal left, it was Audric Estime and Evan Hull splitting things out in the second half of the game. So it was not a bell cow version of Audric Estime. I think Estime is going to get some chances. He can have a goal line touchdown. I don't think that he's like some must play. So I'll go Adonai Mitchell in full PPR. Hunter Henry or Mark Andrews. Yeah, the tight end stuff, it's so close. So who's more likely to score a touchdown? Team totals both look rock solid for both teams. The Patriots are actually dogs to the Ravens. Yeah, I mean, the Mark Andrews stuff, I don't even think he looks very good, but he scores goal line touchdowns. So I'll go with Hunter Henry. He's been more utilized like on a drive-by-drive basis, but we're flipping coins here for touchdowns. Bird guy, here we go. 2 questions. Save my PPR playoffs. Shuck or Bryce Young? I'll go with the better quarterback. The guy that's using the quarterback design run game. I'll go Tyler Shuck, concede the ball over the middle of the field. So I want Shuck there, and then I have both Tet and Olave. Okay, yeah, that's interesting, but I would just go with Tyler Shuck. And then do I risk Woody Marks in the flex, or should I roll with Worthy, Warren, Waller, or Coker off waivers? No. If that's Jalen Warren, but I don't think that Jalen Warren's on your waivers. That's probably a Tyler Warren or something like that. I would probably go Woody Marks. I think we're going to get some Woody Marks news here in a second. Let's see if I can get anything going on here. By the way, this is what the prediction markets lobby looks like. So you see spreads, totals, who's going to win the game by percentage out there. So if you're in a prediction market state, that's what that looks like. Pretty cool stuff. You can use promo code the show. Quentin Johnson is officially active. Keon Coleman is a healthy scratch. And then here's me in the Matrix going live right now. Marcus Freeman expected to be the Giants' top college candidate. That makes sense. I got a lot of Notre Dame connections out there. Aaron Glenn expected back. Pete Carroll's future is in doubt. T. Higgins is going to play. Okay. Jalen Carter has shoulders. That's good. Zach Taylor's going to be back. Okay. That's that. So we have Quentin Johnson in. Nothing on Woody Marks yet. Chat, if you guys help each other out, if you see anything on Woody Marks, get in there. All right. Because I can only do so much at once here. I would say you'd probably be risking Woody Marks, though, versus those options. Gio Ortiz, full PPR, running back, flex, Hampton, Woody, Rico, Michael Wilson, Ted Evans. Yeah, okay. This is where we got to get this stuff right. All right, full PPR. I want Michael Wilson in there. Okay. He gets the ball way, way too much. So I want Michael Wilson, and then flex-wise, Hampton, Woody, Rico, those are all about even. I got Hampton ranked the highest. Do I like Hampton more than Tedero, McMillan, or Mike Evans? I'm going Mike Evans. Mike Evans and Michael Wilson full PPR. So breaking my rule, going with the wide receivers there. Mike Evans dominated last game. He only is going to run about 75% of the routes, so he's not going to be a full-time participant, but team total is really high. Last year, Mike Evans against the Carolina Panthers, 897-2, 8, 118, and 1. Kurgs. Here we go. Rico, Tracy, Michael Wilson, Tet. All right, so I got Michael Wilson just ahead of Tedero McMillan. I'm not going to say anything negative about Tedero McMillan. I really like him. And then for the running back, Rico or Tracy, I got Tyrone Tracy ranked just ahead, but that one's really close. Devin Singletary is still like the lead back when we get to like the 4-yard line, but Tyrone Tracy is dominating touches everywhere else. And they got him like on an out and up touchdown in the receiving game. He's looked good. The Giants, it's a tougher matchup against the Vikings this week. And then the other one, man, that's so close. I think I'll go Tet. Yeah, Wilson, Tet, and then Tyrone Tracy. All very close, though. And if you want to go Rico Dowdle over Tyrone Tracy, I think that does make some sense. Tyrone Tracy's decent in full PPR because he gets so many receptions. Tom Scher asks, Ladd, Michael Wilson, Igbuka, Worthy, Gainwell, these 2 receivers and a flex. Okay. I like Ladd and Michael Wilson easily the highest of the receivers, and then flex Gainwell versus Igbuka or Worthy. So that is Igbuka or Gainwell for me. That's a really tough one. So Gainwell's at 69.5 total yards in the pick'em lobby. This month, 13.8 expected points. Game scripts on his side on top of that. That's in half PPR. And then Igbuka, he is lower. He's like around 10.5. Yeah, I want Gainwell. So Ladd, Wilson, Gainwell, full PPR. Good spot for Kenny Gainwell, like in the pick'em lobby. Let's see where he's at because there are 7-point favorites or dogs in Detroit. So like 4.5 receptions. That makes sense to me. Like 5.5 targets, all that type of stuff. Longest reception. They're using him in a lot of funky ways. So all that makes sense. All right, Timmy, let's get it. Chuba, Big Estime, Fannin, Jordan, Chubb. Okay. So we can chop off a couple of these guys. Jawar can't be, I don't think it'd be Jawar over Nick Chubb. And then, yeah, if Woody Marks is out, you have to go Nick Chubb. I'm not sure if we're going to get a good answer anytime soon with that, though. If it's the other ones, I would just go with Emeka Egbuka and really hope that he can score a big touchdown here. All right, Tom Scher again. May, Burrow, Egbuka, Worthy, Carter, full PPR. So we need a quarterback. May versus Burrow. Man, I'll go Burrow. Now that he's got T. Higgins back, and then Egbuka, Worthy, or Carter. So I like Egbuka over Worthy in full PPR, and then the flex. Yeah, I'll take Carter. Burrow, Egbuka, Carter. Pierre Coffey, safe to expect Woody plays, gets his normal work. I would say not safe. I hope it's the case. I think I would still roll the dice on Woody. If you got to have like some backup plan for Woody. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah. If you guys can find anything on Woody Marks, please let me know. All right. CJ Dog, hey gents, PPR start 1, Waddle, Pollard, or Carter. I'm going to go with Michael Carter there. If you want to say Tony Pollard rips off another big play, by all means, go for it. Michael Carter's in a good spot. I just explained that a couple minutes ago. X going to give it to you. Rank Harvey, Hampton, T-Mac, Ladd. Okay, I think we've hit a couple on these. Definitely Harvey the highest. And then I'll go Hampton, T-Mac, Ladd. But the last 3 are really close. I think RG Harvey's kind of ahead. Clayton Payne's half PPR, 0.25 points to rush attempts. All right. Wide receiver, 2 flex. Okay. So let's get the wide receiver out of the way first. Tedero McMillan versus Ladd McConkey versus Drake London. I want Drake London in there for the receiver. And then the 2 flex is we have Hampton or Dowdle. They'll get about the same amount of rush attempts, so don't really care about that. Full PPR does make Tet look pretty damn good. Okay, I want Tedero and McMillan, and then Hampton or Dowdle. I'll go Hampton. So Tet, Hampton, Drake London there. That one's really close, though. Okay. Producer Weave says Adam Levitan is projecting Woody Marks out, and then some saying he's doubtful. All right. Real quick, just because I'm sure a lot of you guys have this. I know this is annoying. If Woody Marks is out, where would I rank Nick Chubb? I would probably rank Nick Chubb about here. Yeah, I think about running back 28. So Judkins, Genty, Michael Carter. I think these guys are just more likely to score touchdown or catch passes and like not get phased out. Brees Hall's kind of in there. So yeah, it's in this tier. I would rather play him than it's a RB30. It's a kind of like right in this tier is where Nick Chubb would be. T. Higgins or Woody Marks, I guess it's T. Higgins. MK, Evans or Pickens? I'm on George Pickens. I know it's been wonky for the last 2 weeks, but zoom out. AP, morning fellas, full PPR, Godwin, Shakir, Waddle. Okay, so with Shakir, they get the Browns. Browns without Denzel Ward, that doesn't really matter for Shakir. He's in the slot. The Browns have allowed the fewest amount of receptions to slot wide receivers this season, but guys like Keon Coleman can't get on the field. Kincaid's dealing with some injury stuff, so he's not the worst play. Chris Godwin, he's in a full-blown rotation. The Jalen McMillan stuff is scary for him. I'll go with Jalen Waddle, but damn does frickin' Quinn Ewers make me nervous, man. Carter, Marks, Algier, Michael Carter there. Boom. Good luck, AP. Austin, here we go. Rico, Bucky, Judkins, Harvey. Okay. I got to go with RJ Harvey, and then I'll go Bucky Irving. Bucky Irving is not, or at least last week, he lost all of the goal line opportunities. So just to explain this chart, because I think it's very valuable. You can see lots of Bucky Irving, and then the box is Sean Tucker. So, and these lines are the drives. So the last drive ends here with a Sean Tucker goal line attempt. Later in the game, Bucky, Sean Tucker at the goal line. Bucky, Sean Tucker at the goal line. So in 3 different occasions, Sean Tucker subbed in for Bucky Irving at the goal line. That's obviously bad news for fantasy, but that's still a lot of Bucky Irving throughout the game. He can catch passes. He can also get a goal line attempt. He can bust one off for a long run. So I'll go with Bucky and RG Harvey there. Yeah, pretty close. Big Zeke, full PPR, 2 running backs, 2 flexes. You got Hendo, Harvey, Warren, Fannin, Gadsden, Mason, Estime. Okay. We'll get to the defenses in a second. Henderson and Harvey are must plays. The flexes after that, Jalen Warren's got to be in there. And then the last one would be Estime versus Mason versus Gadsden. With Quentin Johnston back in the lineup, I don't think I can do Gadsden. I really want to say Gadsden. He's got a chance because matchup, but he hasn't done anything. So it'd probably be all the running backs right there. And then if Woody Marks plays, awesome. If not, I think it's going to be Estime. We see go back 1. Yeah. Okay. Fantasy defenses. Here we go. Let's lock in. The Texans is looking like an all-timer. You know, the Raiders are projected for 12 damn points. So you got questions on the Vikings right here against Jackson Dart, who I appreciate, but he's a rookie quarterback. What do we say about Brian Flores? The chaos matters a lot more against rookies than the Dak Prescotts and Justin Herberts of the world. Jackson Dart, we'll see if he can handle Brian Flores today. So that I think the Vikings are a good one. And then the Miami Dolphins are hidden. You can just see their snout. What do we call is it a beak? What do we call the Dolphins' nose? I know there's a term for it. I forget what it is. Well, the Dolphins' snout is way up here. Not a good spot for them. I want the Vikings. And by the way, the fantasy defenses here, it's projected sack rate because you get fantasy points for sacks. Sacks are also a good indicator if you're going to get strip sack fumbles. They're also a good indicator if you're getting pressure, which leads to interceptions. Deflections lead to interceptions. So, ironically, sack rate projects interceptions and turnovers and pick sixes better than like past turnovers do. And that's because pressure leads to all of that. And then on the other column, or the y-axis over there, that's how many points they're expected to give up according to the prediction markets. So you want to be on the bottom right there. But projected sack rate, awesome stat. That's defense and offense kind of combined together. So that's what that is. All right. Thank you, JD or GD. Marley Marr's always in here. Let's get this right. Wandale Pittman, Aaron Jones, full PPR. I'll go with Aaron Jones. The Giants are just so miserable on defense. Aaron Jones is not the Aaron Jones of old. He is more Aaron Jones is old. They're doing the drive-by-drive stuff. So you can see Aaron Jones and then all Jordan Mason. All Aaron Jones, all Jordan Mason. And then at the very end of the game, kind of split it up. But so you have to get lucky that the Aaron Jones drive is the one that goes for a goal line attempt. But I'll go with him. And then Brock Purdy or Jacoby. Jacoby's been awesome. I think Brock Purdy's playing good ball, though, and he's got an awesome matchup. Colts defense is banged up. They're getting DeForest Buckner back. But I don't know, man. I'm just going to take the team total and rock with Brock. Which defense in the Chiefs game? Oh, that's a good question. I would probably go with the Chiefs. I would do like Spags versus Cam Ward. I think heat Cam Ward up, see if he can handle it. It's just a really inexperienced offense, inexperienced wide receivers and stuff. So I'll go with the Chiefs over the Titans. Michael Bryan asks, Egbuka, Waddle, Adonai Mitchell. Okay. Full PPR. This one's going to be close. What do my rankings say? Waddle's at wide receiver 30. Adonai Mitchell, wide receiver 29. Is Egbuka wide receiver? Perfect. 29, 30, 31. You nailed it, Michael. Okay, so how can we break this tie? We're talking about full PPR, not half PPR. Usage-wise, Adonai Mitchell is getting the most usage. Let's go to the pick'em lobby. Who has the highest receptions? Adonai Mitchell's at 3.5. So we're starting off strong here. Egbuka, 3.5. Don't even tell me. Waddle, 3.5. Great. If you're watching one of the games, if you like one of these players more than the other, by all means, you can go with it. I think I'll go with Emeka Egbuka, and that's what my rankings have it. And the reason why is just the team total is better than it is on the Jets. It is better than the Dolphins. And this was Dolphins early in the week. The Dolphins team total is now at 21 and 3/4. You can see the Dolphins at one point were projected for 23, 24 points. And then you can see since they announced the starter, the team total has gone down. And I would agree. I think they needed to bench Tua because you can only do that for so long. But most likely Quinn Ewers will be worse. Thank you, Jim. Okay, Arcane. Morning, brothers. Pick 2 wide receivers and a flex. You got Tet, Ladd, T, Dowdle. Okay, I think T's got to get in there, and then I want Tet over Ladd McConkey. I think it's a good spot for Ladd McConkey. In fact, I've even played some Ladd McConkey in the ye old pick'em lobby here. This right here is pretty attractive to me. We got backups out there for Dallas. Team total's high. I think the Cowboys can actually score in the Chargers defense. Not every team can. So I kind of like Lad. We'll build out a little pick'em in a bit. So I'm adding Lad to the mix. Okay, so I want T and Tet starting CMC and Travion already. That's good news. Full 14. Okay, yeah, there you go. Good luck. Austin again. Jamar, that's Jamar Chase, right? If it's Jamar Chase, if it's like Jarwar Jordan, you're doing some mental gymnastics on me. I don't know. If that's Jamar Chase, I want Jamar Chase. Wandale Pickens Evans. I want George Pickens. I'll take Mike Evans. The Giants, we'll see if Brian Flores is too much for Jackson Dart. We got Beetlejuice out here. Baser Drew, 8-man championship today. Okay. May, Chase Brown, Rico, Michael Wilson, Pickens, Amon-Ra, Nico Bowers, Saints defense. All right. That's a good-ass team. Yep. Hopefully Bowers comes through. He can do it, but man, that would be against all odds right now. Despite having Pickens and Jefferson, I somehow made it to the semis. Yeah. Pickens has been very good, though, this year. Half year, who should I trust out of the four? Pickens, Jefferson, Coker, or Godwin? It's Pickens and Jefferson. So with Justin Jefferson, first of all, it's a total mess. Everyone knows that. But the Vikings are above average in terms of projected points this week. It's because the Giants are miserable. So I can show you guys how bad this is the Giants defense against the run. So they're playing the Vikings, so you can see them right there. And then it'll probably take me too long to find the passing matchups, but the Giants pass defense is also really bad too. So the Vikings haven't been very good throwing the ball, but this is the chance. Like Deonte Banks keeps getting benched. It's a bunch of like second-year players who they've been getting benched. They're firing defensive coaches because they don't like the seating arrangements on airplanes. Like it sounds like I'm making this shit up, but like that's just what's been happening with the Giants. So you got to go down with Justin Jefferson. Good luck. GD Dubs. First, congrats to Josh on becoming a dad. Bing bong. Have some kids, guys. It's good. We need the people in this chat. We need these people having kids. It's good. It's worth it. It's a lot, but you do it. It's great. Very fun. You just have different types of fun. And instead of partying, which could be fun, your son runs around and is throwing toys around, and that's also fun. It's great. It's rewarding. Go do it. Second, thanks for all your help this year. Need your help in the semis. PPR, pick 2 wide receivers in a flex. You got Sutton, Evans, Michael Wilson, Pickens, Travion, Henderson. Okay. Hendo's got to be in the flex. 2 receivers. I'm going down with the George Pickens. And then full PPR, Michael Wilson or Cortland Sutton. Really close. And Mike Evans is all right there too. So you got a good... what the hell is this AI thing doing? Michael Wilson's usage does come down when Marvin Harrison is in the lineup, but that's an injured version of Marvin Harrison, and it's a good matchup against the Falcons. Cortland Sutton, it's a huge pass rate game against the Jaguars. Let me see if I can pull up the pass rate. Yep, I knew it. So this is... I mentioned this a lot, so let me just explain this real quick. This chart is neutral pass rate. So first and second downs, when the winning percentage is within like 20 and 80 percentage points, no 2-minute drill, no nonsense here. Just like, are you going to run it or pass it? It's about league average is about 50%. Teams that go against Jacksonville's defense are up at 58%. No one else is even close. So regardless of the past trends, offenses facing Jacksonville decide to pass the ball, I think it's because Trayvon Walker is so good stopping the run. They got some good defensive tackles. They'll kind of load the box too. So this one makes sense to me. So I'm going to go with Cortland Sutton, Pickens, and Travion. And then they've also been passing the ball a lot more. Denver has the last month of the season. So seems like a lot of dropbacks, which is good for Cortland Sutton. Bulls on parade, Xavier Worthy, Adonai Mitchell. Yeah, they're pretty much back-to-back in my rankings. I think I got, Adonai a spot or two ahead. Yeah. Adonai Mitchell, slightly ahead. I think Xavier Worthy could have a decent game, but JJ Primetime. All right, I'm not going to try to pretend what the hell that word is. Playing against JSN, Chase, Cook, Hurts, Dowdle, Bowers. Yikes. Okay. Dak Prescott over Tyler Shuck. Yeah, I'm rocking with that one. Team total is just too different. 3 running backs out of Bijan, Bucky, Harvey, Hendo. I would sit Bucky, I guess. Bucky, Harvey, Hendo is all about the same tier to me. Bijan, obviously, awesome. I'm breaking ties because Bucky Irving, like I said, was just subbed out for Sean Tucker 3 different instances last game. So it wasn't like 3 Sean Tucker failed runs in a row. It's like, no, Sean Tucker converts. Next half, he's back out there. Next half, he's back out there again. So that's how I'll break the tie. Pick one, Worthy, DK, Pat Bryant. Okay, so Pat Bryant's a new one. We haven't gone over him. He was a full participant early in the week. He's just going to be solid. Last 3 healthy games, he's the wide receiver 20 in usage. Like we talked about with Cortland Sutton, teams against Jacksonville like to pass the ball. Denver's passing the ball more. So Pat Bryant's like legitimately in play. He's actually probably somebody we can look at in the pick'em lobby ourselves. Pat Bryant, let's see where we're at, like 30. Yeah, okay. That makes more sense to me. Worthy, yeah, I'm on Worthy there. And then Gadsden, Warren, Knox, my goodness. So Gadsden takes a hit because QJ is going to play. Warren, it's tough because it's just the freaking Phillip Rivers. And then Dawson Knox, who's been playing a lot more. I think I might just go. Man. I think I would just go Gadsden and just hope that he bounces back. But he has not been playing full-time snaps. He's not getting targeted as much. This is more just the Cowboys stink. You know, that's just kind of the angle there. But they're all dart throws. All right, Aziz, Khalil, Emeka, or Marv. I'm on Marv. I don't think he's going to be a full... I think he might be a full-time player. I don't think he's going to be a full-time, or fully himself, I should say. But his last 4 games, I think it was at 13.1. Yeah. Marv has averaged 13.1 expected half PPR points in his 4 healthy games with Jacoby Brissett. And then what does that mean? 13.1 expected half PPR points. If I scroll down, expected points, 13, that's a wide receiver 11 usage. So even discounting the Marv stuff, he still looks like a boom bust wide receiver 2-3 with Jacoby. Emmanuel on the mic, Dynasty Superflex, lost Mahomes. Would I rather start Minshew or Rivers? Oh my God. Okay. It's probably Minshew. Minshew at least has a chance of running at all. Team total wise, it's about the same, right? Yeah, it's exactly the same. I would go with Minshew. There's not a Jonathan Taylor in the Chiefs offense, so I'll go Minshew. And then I'll go Michael Carter over Emeka Egbuka. EB from LC. Pick a quarterback, JJ Stroud or Purdy. That's got to be CJ Stroud, right? Okay. CJ Stroud or Purdy. I'm on Brock Purdy. Pick 2 receivers, Adonai Mitchell, Michael Wilson, Coker. Definitely Michael Wilson, and then I'm on Adonai Mitchell. but Coker's in play. Treyway, here we go. 3 receivers, tight end, Ladd, T-Mac, Michael Wilson, Egbuka. Yeah, this is, to me, it's Ladd, T-Mac, and Michael Wilson. And then Waller, Strange, Knox. Let's go with Darren Waller, especially full PPR. I think Waller looks good, man, but part-time player. Just Jamie, happy holidays. 2 leagues, both full PPR. You got 2 running backs, a wide receiver, a flex. You got Buck, Rico Dowdle, Tyrone Tracy, Hampton, Worthy, Egbuka. All right. I like Bucky, Hampton, and Tracy, but I also like Dowdle right there too. It's definitely the flex is going to one of those running backs. And then the wide receiver, Worthy or Egbuka. I'm on Egbuka, much higher team total, so that's the receiver. Tracy, Hampton, Dowdle is extremely close. Yeah, I think I'll sit Dowdle. He's probably the least likely to catch passes on the Rico Dowdle front out there. And if you guys are like desperate for Chuba Hubbard, you can see last week Rico Dowdle gets the goal line back. Both are being used, but it was a pretty stark split where Chuba, let me just pull it up. Okay. Chuba Hubbard played on 88% of the late down snaps. That's 3rd and 4th downs, pass downs. Rico Dowdle handled 77% of the early down snaps. So it's pretty much the split. It's like early downs versus pass downs, which makes it a little bit hard for Rico Dowdle to get there in full PPR. So breaking a tie against him, but Rico Dowdle's in the same tier. Need to make up some ground from Parkinson and Watson. He needs to sit Sutton, Evans, or Michael Wilson. Oh, man. It's all the same tier, man. I really just don't have a good answer for you. I guess I would like sit Evans, but just because he was not out there for every single snap, but I like Mike Evans. I mean, how could you not? So that's what I would do. Jim asked Purdy or May. I believe this is May, right? Oh, it's so close. Let's see if the Pick'em Lobby has anything to help us out here. Drake May, he's at 17.9 fantasy points in the Pick'em Lobby, which feels a little bit light, to be honest. And then Brock Purdy is at 18.75. Okay. I'll go Brock Purdy. It's really close. I think that Drake May number was a little bit light, to be honest. They're passing the ball a whole lot more recently with Drake May. Buffalo or Saints defense here. Let's help you out. Saints looking great. And then the Bills also looking good. So you got Shador or Brady Cook. I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills. I think that's a tough spot for Shador. They disguise a bunch of coverages, and the Bills are going to be able to score. So you'll be forcing Shador Sanders in some really, really tough situations. So, and then pick 4, Brees, Genty, Marks, Tracy, Egbuka, Estime, Warren. Okay. It's going to be a bunch of the backs. So Brees has got to be in there. Genty's got to be in there. Tracy's got to be in there. And then if Woody Marks was going to play, I would have said him, but that one's TBD. The other ones, it's Estime. It can't be Warren. So it's Estime versus Emeka Egbuka in full PPR. I think I would go Emeka Egbuka, but Brees, Genty, Tracy are for sure. Everyone else is pretty much close. Brian Gale, sit one between Jalen Coker, Estime, Adonai Mitchell. Yeah, I think I would just sit Jalen Coker. He's been the one that his production and usage has been up and down. Will acknowledge this is the highest I've ever ranked him because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are a pass funnel, must-win game. I think Coker's good at football. I'm not going to say anything negative about Jalen Coker, but he would be the one that has had like the fewest amount of targets recently. Andy Scott, Carter, Dowdle, Marks. I'm the underdog, full PPR. I think I would just go with Dowdle. But Michael Carter, Dowdle, same tier. All right. CH of 21. Genty, Marv, Estime. I think it's so disgusting. It's not Estime for me. So it's either Genty. Yikes, man. That's so bad. 10.4. I think Marv's going to be lower. Yeah, I think I would just go Genty. You at least have Geno back. Genty doesn't come off the field. I got nothing else for the Genty situation, but I'll go Genty. Brooklyn, you got Juwan Johnson in full PPR or Ferg Daddy. Let me pull this one up. Pretty close. So who's more likely to catch passes and rack up some receptions? And you're talking about full PPR. I do think that's Juwan. Vele is out. Neal, Kamara, all the running backs banged up. I posted the Tyler Shuck film. You guys got to watch the Tyler Shuck film. There's something to it. And then we talked about it on Stats versus Film and in the recap show from last week. The Jets linebacker group, it's pathetic. And Juwan Johnson's going to get matched up there. So I'm on Juwan Johnson. In fact, I kind of like Juwan Johnson, the pick him lobby. Let's see what we got. 38.5. We're adding in him. Good spot. Okay. Ham Patel. We got Cash's cousin in here. Morning, guys. Happy holidays. Full PPR. Woody Marks or Audric Estime. Yeah, latest I heard from producer Weaves is Adam Levitan's projecting Marks out, and some are saying he's doubtful. So I'm not sure if you're going to have a choice. I can't look up news while I'm doing the show. We got 15,000 people in here. I can't look that up myself, but go look up Woody Marks, do your own research. But it sounds like right now it's got to be Estime, but I don't know. Mix Mike, here are $5 more for DJ Moore. Okay, DJ Moore, woo! Merry Christmas, PPR. Quarterback, 2 receivers, 2 running backs, a tight end, a defense. Okay. Burrow, Goff. I'm going Burrow. Goff projects very well. They're the highest team total of the week. And then Cook, Henderson, Dowdle. Okay, Cook or Henderson or Dowdle. All right, Cook, Henderson. Okay, there's 2. I like Dowdle in there for the flex. I'm confused. Olave and T, that's good there. Okay. Yeah, your team looks good. The tight end I would go with would be Kincaid or Pitts. I didn't see Pitts in there. Yeah, I'll go Pitts. Yeah, your team looks good. I'm not making changes there. Falcons and Vikings. Let's see what. There's the Vikings. Falcons are right there. So we got Jacoby Brissett dropping back a bunch. I'll just go the Vikings. Let's make I love Jackson Dart. I mean, USC legend, but let's see if he can pull it off. So I'll go Vikings. Michael Barton, Javonte or Carter. This one's Javonte Williams. Afraid of Josh Jacobs' treatment. Yeah, I still want Javonte. I can look up. Javonte Williams got a full practice in. So I feel good. I feel good about that. Javonte is just, here's some reassurance for you. 13.5 half PPR points in the pick'em lobby. Michael Carter would be like at 11 or something like that. 12 flat. So it's close, but I'm on Javonte, higher team total. Waller, Stranger, Juwan Johnson. We just went over it. Juwan Johnson, I like his matchup. Chase Brown or Hampton down 30, need upside badly. I would go Chase Brown in terms of upside. Evans top 10. I don't have Evans as a top 10, but he's a wide receiver too. So good luck, Michael. I can tell you're stressed out by the caps, but we got this. And if you don't got it, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. All right, Crumb, need to in the flex. Marv, Pittman, Waddle, Estime. Okay, Marvin Harrison's got to be in there. Jacoby Brissett's been way too good. Pittman, Waddle, Estime. If this is full PPR, I think I would go down with Jalen Waddle. If it's standard, I think Estime is the most likely to score a goal line touchdown. So depends on the format. Marv is the for sure play. I have Waddle slightly ahead of Michael Pittman, and then Estime versus Waddle depends on the league settings. John, what's up? Full PPR, need a flex, Worthy or Waddle. Okay, here. It's really close. I guess I'll go Waddle. Team totals are about the same. Quarterback play, it's probably even better for Worthy than it is for Waddle. Waddle's just better than Xavier Worthy. I think McDaniel's a better freaking play caller than Andy Reid is at this point with Matt Nagy as his OC. I'll go Waddle, but this one's tight. JT, full PPR, we got Woody or T-Mac. Shout out Daddy Josh, that's right. Yeah, it sounds like it's just going to be T-Mac. I think I would have said T-Mac regardless, though. Ant Rocco, half PPR, Waddle, Michael Wilson, Michael Carter. Yeah, this would be the two Michaels for me. Both Cardinals, Michaels. Tom shared Diggs or Adonai, Bryant or Franklin. Okay. I'm going to go with Adonai Mitchell for full PPR at the receiver, and then Genty is your flex. By the way, the Diggs game, this is a matchup where it should be Diggs, but he's just not playing enough. And that's because they got Mac Wilson out there blocking. They want Kyle Williams to get some rookie snaps. Pop Douglas get some slot snaps. And then the big one's Kayshon Boutte back in the lineup. So part-time player right now. Ozzy asked, should I go with the Houston running back or pivot to Gainwell? No, full PPR, Kenny Gainwell, I just had ranked really high. I talked about this a ton recently. Kenny Gainwell's he's just loved by Rodgers. You can tell. If you watch his games against the Lions, that tonight's game? Anyways, you'll see Kenny Gainwell, they'll audible and just throw him a little thing in the flat. 4th and 3, he's out in the flats. He's getting screens. They'll like line him up like in the slot, but like lined up like where the running backs are typically lined up. And then they'll throw a little bubble screen out to him out there. They'll run him on like real routes from the slot. There's like the Steelers love Kenny Gainwell. Like, and this is the matchup against the Lions when you're expected to lose by 7 points. Like this is when I would expect even more of that. So I like Kenny Gainwell. Brick and roll pod. All right. Is Coker going to do well for me or am I fried? Jalen Coker will have 3 receptions for 48 yards, and then we'll flip a coin if he scores a touchdown or not. I don't know if that's well enough for you or not. Fried, probably more likely, but I like Coker. All right. Leno, Marv or Michael Carter, full PPR, 0.25 rushing first down bonus. I'll just go with Michael Carter. How many first downs do these backs get? Like 4 or 5? I wonder, is that something we have? We don't have first downs, but that would be interesting. Was that, it's just rushing first down bonuses? Well, he's going to get 50.5 receiving yards. Yeah, maybe he gets like 5 first downs, so you get an extra point or so. That one's really close. I think I'll go Carter, though. Kobe on the golf course. Need to pick 2. Evans, Adonai, Marks, or Tet. Yeah, this one's Evans and Tet. Find it hard to start Mitchell over Marks. Now, the Tet stuff, they don't want to pass the ball, but they don't have a choice this week. So, um, it's somewhere in the column, but I have neutral pass rates, and this month the Panthers are dead last in neutral pass rate, but you just can't run the ball against Vita Vea. So what are you going to do? You're just have to pass the ball, especially they're expected to lose. You can see Bucks, Panthers is what, like a 3-point spread, 4-point spread. Yeah, 3-point spread. I think that the Panthers are going to have to drop back, and whenever they drop back, Tyrone McMillan does a lot. John asked another one: Trevor, Kirk, or JG McCarthy. Yeah, this one's really tough as well. So in terms of team total, the Falcons are the highest, but Kirk is a negative when it comes to rushing. Then we have Jacksonville right here and Minnesota projected for about the same amount of points. They run about the same. I think I'll go Trevor and take my chances against the Broncos defense, but obviously a really tough spot. He's gone off recently against like the worst defenses in the league. So big step up. Also go Trevor. Andy Mint, half PPR, Tet, Hampton, or Judkins. I think I'll go Hampton, but he needs a goal line touchdown. He needs some receptions. It's just the Chargers, for a while, they were projected like 18 points. They played a lot of like really difficult defenses recently. Now they're back up to 23.5 points. So I'll go Hampton, backs over receivers. Oh, the old Shreen dog on the horse. Darren Waller versus Tyler Warren. I want Waller. And then running back, flex, wide receiver. Mike Evans, Michael Wilson, Genty, or Hendo. So I like Hendo over Genty. I like Michael Wilson over Mike Evans. And then you have to pick a flex between them. And this is full PPR. I want Mike Evans in there. Yeah, I want both Mikes and then Hendo. Estime versus Marks. It sounds like it's going to be Estime, but you guys need to do your own Woody Marks research. Can't do it live right now. Pick a tight end in a flex. Yeah, I just want tight end premium. I'll go Pitts, and then for the flex, I think I'll go Worthy. Worthy and Brian Thomas are about the same to me, though. Yeah, I'll go Worthy, full PPR. Jeffrey Harrington, half PPR, bonus for 100+ yards. Okay. Brown, Cook, Henderson, Gainwell. Well, those are pretty good ones. Cook's got to be in. Henderson and Chase Brown. Yeah, I really like Kenny Gainwell, but you can't play him over those guys. If Drake London gets ruled out, he's going to play. Who should I pick up in that 4 p.m. slot? Unless like all the reporting's just like dead wrong, Drake London's expected to play. So, I would have to get back to you on the 4 p.m. slot. There's like the game times though, the morning games like for West Coasters, these are terrible games. The good games are down here. Like Jaden Higgins would be somebody later on. I think you can do Kayshon Boutte is kind of in the mix. Bateman you can take a chance on. Yeah, it'd be kind of those guys. Troy Franklin, Pat Bryant, maybe Pat Bryant. Those would be the ones. Roz, half PPR. I have Woody Marks, Estime, Jawar Jordan. Yeah, I think you're going to be on team Estime, but once again, you guys got to do your own Woody Marks research. You can only do so much at once. Thank you, Jeff. Jaffley. Iced Milk 69. Morning Hayden. Breece Hall or Woody Marks. I'm on Breece Hall. I wish I could tell you guys more about Woody Marks. I just can't. Waller or Warren. I'm on Darren Waller. I think it's just gonna be hard for Tyler Warren Team totals low. It's old Phillip. You can only pass the ball so many times with them. I'm on Waller. Don't love it, though. Julian Tillery. You got a good team up top. Started leveling at tight ends. Tough. It happens. Rico, Igbuka, Gatson, or Diggs in my 2 flex spots. Yeah, Rico's got to be in there. And then Igbuka, I think, still needs to be in there. Brissett or Purdy for the CMC stack. Yeah, I'm just going Brock Purdy. He's been running around, lock it up, that whole thing. You can get them obviously linked up in the receiving game a ton as well. So I'll just go with CMC. Real quick, in Pick'em Lobby, if you're new here, promo code the show, Josh Allen, gimme. We have it at 0 yards in the Pick'em Lobby. So you'll see it in there, especially if you're using the old app on your cellular device. Promo code the show, play 5, get 75. Unwrap. There's going to be tons of bonuses. You can see some gifts sprinkled throughout here up top. So promo code the show, Josh Allen out there. Wait for the Marks news or play Breece Hall. I would probably go Breece Hall. It sounds like from the mentions I'm getting here is that Woody Marks is highly questionable to play. Jimbo Slice, Judkins, or Woody Marks. Yeah, same thing. I'm on Quinshot Judkins. Marvin or Drake London. Yeah, once again on the Drake London stuff, I have him ranked really highly. There's no incentive for the Falcons to rush him back. They don't have a first-round pick. They're eliminated from the playoffs. I think he's only playing because he's actually healthy. Now, what's interesting to me is he did go limited DNP. So if he was like full participant in practice, I would probably have Drake London as my wide receiver 5. I moved him down a couple spots. Him versus Olave versus J-Mo versus Metcalf and T. Higgins. I think this is all about the right tier. So I think once you get down into like Michael Wilson with Marvin Harrison back, Mike Evans in a part-time role, then Juwan Jennings, just historically not that high, I think that's where it kind of falls off. So I think you're justified. Anyone ranking him as the wide receiver 5 to wide receiver, I'll say 17. I think that's kind of the range for Drake London. So I'm in the middle of it. David Taylor, 2 questions. We got a super flex one to start with. Audric Estime, Adonai Mitchell, Jordan Mason, and Mari DiMercado. Yeah, so this would be Adonai Mitchell and Estime. Jordan Mason's playing like every other drive. He can score a touchdown. It's an awesome spot against the Giants. I think that he's like somewhat in play. But I'll go Adonai Mitchell and Estime. And then for kicker, Pinheiro or Borregales. I always just look at the team totals in general. So like for the most part, it's just how many points are you projected to score. So Borregales is the Patriots guy, right? I don't play like any leagues with kickers. Like get them the hell away from me. But I would always just look at the team totals, and obviously some teams struggle in the red zone because they can't run the ball. I think that helps kickers. Some teams have coward coaches and they like kicking field goals instead of going for it. So it's not just team totals, and then also how good is the kicker. I can only do so much at once. If you guys want better wide receiver and running back rankings, I have to, limit my time, and I'm not doing kickers. Sixberg, thank you. Colin Rubin asked Fannin or Juwan Johnson. Yeah, Fannon's just been too good. I think Juwan Johnson's definitely in play, but Fannon's been the man. So, yeah, there he is. Next to Bowers and Kittle. Ever heard of them? And then this was Colby Parkinson before, Thursday night happened. It was these guys. Okay. Pick 3 standard scoring. Dowdle, Pickens, London, Michael Wilson. Ooh, that's tough. Okay. Well, in standard, that does change up the picture. I still think London is pretty damn good touchdown odds. And same thing with Pickens. I think I would just sit Michael Wilson in standard, but You got a good problem to have. I think Rico looks pretty good for standard scoring still. So Rico, Dowdle, where's it play? 75, yeah, 76 and a half receiving plus rushing yards. So total yards at 76 and a half. And he's about a coin flip for a touchdown. So that's pretty good for a standard. The real Kmart, this looks like a man who either got married or is doing a best man speech. Half PPR, start 2. Jay Waiter, that's Waddle? Or are we going that's somebody else? And then you got Egbuka and Evans. Well, there's not a Jay Waiter that I would like over Mike Evans. Egbuka versus Waller or Waddle or whoever else, that would be pretty close. Am I crazy? What's the hell is Jay Waiter? I want Evans in, and I don't know who the other one is. I'm sorry. Francisco Santos. Jacobs might have ruined my fantasy. Yeah, he was this close to scoring a touchdown. What do you want? Fannin, Waller, Chargers defense. Yeah, that's Harold Fannin there. And then Derrick Henry or Michael Carter. I have Derrick Henry. And then May or Jacoby. I'm on Drake May, but that one's about even. McChew 99. Marks. Man, it's so much Woody Marks. Woody Marks, Diggs, Estime, Coker. Okay. I think that the upside play would be Coker. Aside from Marks. Marks is like the obvious. I want to play Woody Marks if he's going to be the starter. If we don't get that, I think that I would go Jalen Coker in full PPR. Pass funnel. I know he's good at football. So that's where my head is at. Sixberg, Estime, Waddle, Adonai Mitchell, pick 1. Okay. I'll go Jalen Waddle. That one's close. Clayton Sorensen asks, first-time listener. Whoa, we got to impress him. Full PPR league. I'm stuck between Emeka Egbuka, Jalen Warren in the flex spot. Yeah, I know. Full PPR. The Lions' defense against running backs is sketchy. This is true. So with Jalen Warren, I'm still, like, based off like last week even, so let's get this one right. So here's what we know about Jalen Warren. Over the last month, he's the running back 25 on running back 23 usage. So projected for about 11 points. That's where he's been kind of scoring. This last game, Jalen Warren lost a lot of snaps to Kenny Gainwell. Kenny Gainwell, we talked about him. He's been used in the pass game. I don't think that's going away. Jalen Warren, though, did get back-to-back goal line touches going into halftime. And if somehow this game stays close or if the Steelers win it, I do think running out the clock, I do think that Jalen Warren would get active. Now, Kenny Gainwell has been playing a lot, so that does make me nervous. So versus where Jalen Warren was earlier in the season, definitely lower. So I got Kenny Gainwell ranked ahead of him, but Jalen Warren still projected for 56.5 total yards. I do think if they get down to the 1 yard line, it still is more likely to be Jalen Warren. Team total is like average with the Steelers right now. So I think he's a fine play. Yeah, extremely average. Not the cleanest spot. And then with Emeka, he's not going to be a full-time participant anymore because they got Jalen McMillan activated. Matchup-wise, totally neutral against the Panthers. They're projected for more points. This one's really close. I think I will go with Jalen Warren, but it's very close. Hopefully any of that information helped. AC Dubs, Egbuka, Schultz, Addison, full PPR. Yeah, this one would just be Emeka Egbuka for me. Dalton Schultz is right there, though. Dalton Dalton Schultz on a really high team total, tight end 9 usage this month, 4th in projected points. Raiders stink. I think Stroud looks awesome. Everything about Dalton Schultz looks good. But Egbuka, I think like who has a better chance of getting like 100 yards or something like that? It's still a Mecca. BTMF. Okay. Judkins, Wandale, Tracy, Carter. I play Puka. Okay, so we need some damn fantasy points here. In a half PPR. I think I would go the backs. I think that you go Tyrone Tracy and Judkins would be my answers there. But yeah, I'm not seeing like a bunch of upside with those guys, unfortunately. Judkins or Carter, half PPR. I'll go Judkins, but the Browns are in a tough spot. They're missing like all of their offensive linemen, and then Shador against Sean McDermott makes me highly nervous. But no Dylan Sampson once again. I'll just go. Last week was a season high in terms of snaps for Judkins. Double down with that one, but this one's close. I talked about it. Michael Carter is like, I think that he looks pretty solid. Steve asked PPR May or Brissett. I got Drake May ranked a little bit higher, but it's close. And then Dowdle or ETN. I got ETN ranked pretty damn high. Is he still in my top 10? Yeah. He's not coming off the field very much now with Tootin out. So looks good. CEGDBL. All right. Whatever the hell that means. Got this cat looking at me. It's Gainwell, DK, Carter, Brees, and Jalen Waddle. Okay. I think you go with. It's kind of crazy, but I think you just go with both the Steelers guys. DK Metcalf looks pretty good. It's just game script wise, they're expected to lose by a touchdown. The Steelers defense is super banged up right now. They only have so many guys to get the football to. So could Rodgers shit the bed? He absolutely could, but he's been playing better ball. It makes me nervous to say both Steelers, but I think that's where I would go. Fizzo, McConkey, or Michael Wilson, full PPR. I'm a Michael Wilson. Burgundy bets, estimate Jake Ferguson, Coker, full PPR. I think I'll go with Jalen Coker in full PPR, pass funnel, but estimate's close. We talked about the estimate earlier in the show. Go find it. Was losing snaps to Evan Hull because estimate can't handle passing situations for the most part. So I think part-time role. I thought Devin Neal had a better chance of being more of a bell cow. I'd be surprised if they used Estime like that. Estime needs pretty much a goal line touchdown. All right, Herbert, Estime, Jaden Higgins, or Shakir, Waddle. Pick 2. So I think I'm going to go with... These receivers are not very good. So I think this is where I would probably go with Estime. And then I have Waddle ranked the highest. Jaden Higgins is interesting to me because the team total is so high. He is only the wide receiver 46 in usage this month, but there's the Texans. They're right next to the Bills, Cowboys, 49ers this week. Stroud's playing better. I think Higgins is a fine enough talent. So that one's pretty close. I'll go Estime and Waddle, though. All right. R-Mac, Troy Franklin with Pat Bryant back, or Woody Marks. Yeah, I would have easily said Woody Marks. If Woody Marks isn't going to play football today, then it's hard to say him. So do your own Woody Marks research. All right. The J97, May, Herbert, Purdy, pick 2. Yeah, good problem to have. All these guys look good. I'll go with Purdy in May. And then pick 2, or the Chiefs or 49ers defenses. I think this is a good spot just to go blindly Spags versus a rookie quarterback. And a rookie quarterback who's has some highlight plays, but down-to-down consistency is still not there for Cam Ward. So I'll go with Spags and the Chiefs. Tons of questions today. Thanks for that. Superflex full PPR. Igbuka, Worthy, Estimate, Coker. Is it not the same question? It's crazy. I want Emeka Igbuka, and then I'll go Xavier Worthy. BCS, full PPR, 2 wide receivers, 2 flex. Sutton, Higgins, Pickens, Michael Wilson, Javonte Henderson. Okay, I think that the 2 backs need to be in there for your flex. And then we have Pickens versus, I think Pickens needs to be in there as well. Yeah, this one's really close. Sutton, T. Higgins, Michael Wilson. Oh my goodness. Well, the good news is I love all these guys, so you're not going to make a terrible decision. I think I would go T. Higgins. Like, who scored the most fantasy points over the last year on a per game basis between all these guys? The answer has been T. Higgins. Is there anything we should be thinking about T. Higgins? Maybe slightly more concussion risk. Matchup is kind of neutral against the Dolphins, who are a little bit better than people think. But I think I'm just going to go with T. Higgins. You know, there's no reason that he'd be a part-time player. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, he's either concussed or he's not. And was a full participant, flew with the team. I'll go T. Higgins, but I mean, it's a toss-up. Zach asked 2 receivers and a flex. Who would you pick between JMO, Evans, London, Dowdle, and Diggs? All right. Well, you got some good options here. I think London and JMO are the 2 receivers over Mike Evans. And then the flex, it's Mike Evans or Dowdle. I think in full PPR, you would go Mike Evans. In half PPR, I would go with Rico Dowdle. It's definitely not Diggs. Those are good options, though. Edgar Hernandez, Tyler Warren, or Gadsden. Yeah, I'm on Gadsden because of the matchup, but he hasn't been getting the rock much. And then Hampton or T. Higgins. I would go with T. Higgins if it's full PPR. All right. ICM something. Decided to bench Caleb for Shuck. How screwed am I? I wanted to play it safe. I'm up 60 because of JSN and Puka, but playing against H. Cook, DK, Justin Jefferson. Yeah, you look great. Caleb and Shuck, they were pretty much back to back my rankings. Like, it's totally fine. Like, the overtime long touchdown, it's like hard to predict that. Caleb is awesome though. Like, it's so obvious that Caleb is just going to be so good. Yeah, I think Shuck is fine though. Good defense to be playing Tyler Shuck in. TC over in SoFi Stadium, we've got Woody Marks, Tyrone Tracy, or Ashton Genty. Yeah, I'm on Tyrone Tracy, but Tyrone Tracy and Genty, it's pretty similar. Tyrone Tracy got subbed out for Devin Singletary inside the 5-yard line, but everything outside the 5-yard line is pretty much all to Tyrone Tracy at this point. He's going to catch some passes. And then with Genty, I mean, look at what the freaking Raiders are. I mean, this is pathetic. I mean, we're talking about the Browns, the Jets, the Titans, and then here's the Raiders. Like, I don't know, man. I'll go Tracy, but Genty's still in play. Shub, full PPR, Collins, Evans, Wilson, or London. Okay. Nico Collins is a must play. I would say Drake London is pretty much a must play, and then Evans and Wilson, pretty much toss-ups. I'll go with Michael Wilson, but those 2 are very close. Those are some good receivers. Luke Hover asks, Emeka, Woody, Nick Chubb, full PPR. If Woody Marks is ruled out, I would just go Nick Chubb. If it's a committee and it's like Woody Marks is playing, but he's not out there full-time snaps and stuff, then you're kind of shit out of luck. And maybe I would go Emeka in full PPR. But if Woody Marks is like literally out, that's where I'm going. I'm doing a little Woody Marks. Look up. Let's see what the hell's going on in Woody Marks. Graziano thinks it's less likely. Okay, so Jacob and Ian. Okay, no Woody Marks injury or update. Uh, yeah, nobody knows for sure, and there's me. Um, yeah, this was the initial report. Woody Marks ankle both plan to play. Final status being determined on Sunday for Aaron Wilson. He's kind of been up and down as a reporter. Yeah, no one knows yet. I'm guessing this Graziano. Oh, Woody Marks is expected to be inactive today. Boom, we finally got it. Put it, and let's make sure we're not getting. Yeah, okay. We did it. Woody Marks, don't plan on playing him. Nick Chubb will be my. Would I play Tony Pollard or Nick Chubb? I think I would go Nick Chubb, Michael Carter or Nick Chubb. That one's close. Genty or Nick Chubb, Judkins or Nick Chubb, Brees Hall or Nick Chubb, Aaron Jones or Nick Chubb. Okay, I think I would for sure play Rico Dowdle over Chubb. The reason why this is so tough, as a reminder, right now, the Houston Texans are projected for the second most points on the week, 26 and a half or 26 and a quarter. So we have to get this right. Is Jarwar Jordan, who pretty much no one knew about until last week, is he actually going to be taking away Nick Chubb carries? Nick Chubb on the practice report, Nick Chubb got in 2 full participant practices in. And then I'll show you guys the back end of what I look at for the usage model. Let's go. Here's Woody Marks. So Woody Marks was dominating Nick Chubb for a while, but without Woody Marks kind of separating from week 10 on, Nick Chubb was kind of hanging around in this 9 to 11 expected points range, had a lot of duds, had a couple decent games. I will say the Texans offense looks much better now than it did back in September. And Woody Marks, his usage was fantastic. So like there's upside with Woody Marks for sure. Let's see if I have the running back usage chart somewhere in here. Let me find this. I want to get this one right for everybody. Usage model. I know I have it here. Okay. So here is expected fantasy points. So this is like how close is the running back to the end zone. Receptions are more important than carries, all that type of stuff, all into one metric. The last month of the season with Stroud back and playing good ball, the Texans running back group combined is 5th highest in usage. Nick Chubb's getting 67% of that at least. I think you'll get some like Dare Gumbawale, some Jawar Jordan, but these games really matter, and they signed Nick Chubb for a reason. So I think that Nick Chubb is going to get most of the work for an offense that's really using their running backs. Now, on top of that, we have a super high team total. So Nick Chubb, let's go back to my rankings. Let's pick where I'm going to slide Nick Chubb in officially. Nick Chubb will be, okay, Hampton or Nick Chubb, Chiron Tracy, Nick Chubb. I think we're in this tier. All right, this is what I'm doing here. This is a little behind the scenes stuff. I'm moving Kenny Gainwell down 1 spot. Out. I want Nick Chubb in. Nick Chubb is going to be around my running back 20. I think he's the Texans just been using their backs too much. The team total is too high. So even if you get half of the work, which I think would be like a disaster scenario for Nick Chubb, I think it's got to be Nick Chubb ranked pretty aggressively. So that's where I'm at with Nick Chubb. we just hit the 20,000 live viewers on this. That's pretty dope. All right, next question, Weaves. I know I was just rambling there, but hopefully that's the Woody Marks, Nick Chubb conversation. In general, Nick Chubb is a better flex play than a lot of your other options, especially in standard, especially in half PPR. He's not my favorite player right now. The Texans offensive line still has a lot of warts, but the Raiders defense is truly is that bad. All right, Latrell. What's up, Hayden? Pick 2 for the last 2 flex spots. Tyrone Tracy, Marks, Jalen Coker, Estime. Okay. That's Tyrone Tracy for sure. And then Estime or Coker. Yeah, we've talked about this. In full PPR, I'll go Coker. In half PPR, I think it's a toss-up. We'll see if we get Woody Marks in the pick 'em lobby anytime soon. All right, Vamp. We got Squidward, Purdy, or Burrow. This one's really close. I'm on Brock Purdy, but very close. Warren, Coker, Gadsden. I'm on Jalen Warren. Thank you, Matt. Is that all of them, Weaves? Thank you, Gasman. All right. Sidell Ridge, RJ Harvey, or Rico Dowdle. I'm on RJ Harvey. Thanks for all the hard work. Congrats, Josh. Happy you are Rico or T. Higgins. That one's really close. I think I'll go T. Higgins, but that's very close. Matt, Olave, London, T, Zay Flowers, Javonte, Chase Brown need 3 flexes. Okay, I think that the 2 backs need to be in there, Javonte and Chase Brown, and then I'll go Drake London, but man, Olave's right there. Backs plus Drake London for me. Salty Avenue, not reading all of that. JK, I will. The Jewish puka stuff. It's crazy how much that blew up. 70% winning projection. Have a 50-yard line sideline seats tonight for Sunday Night Football in Baltimore. Start Ramondre or Estime. Full PPR. I'll go Estime, but you can start Ramondre if you want to. It's close. You're a Ravens fan, though. Do you want to be rooting for Ramondre? So Estime is in my rankings. So if you're rooting for the Ravens, root against Ramondre. Adonai Mitchell or Marvin Harrison? Marvin Harrison. Speedy, Dart, or Shuck? This one's pretty close. The Dart stuff makes me nervous. He's been much better in fantasy. Yeah, I'll still go with Jackson Dart. We got quarterback design carries this last game, but Brian Flores versus rookie quarterbacks, it's never fun. So very close. I'll go Dart. Prime time. Have we did this one already? Close. Okay. Dak Prescott. I like him. Yeah, Bijan for sure. And then we said Hendo and Harvey over Bucky because of the goal line touchdowns. Pick 2 or wide receiver 2. Pick 1 out of BTJ, Worthy, DK. I got Worthy ranked the highest, and then I said Knox or Gadsden just for matchup purposes. Casey Adam. Okay. Good luck, everybody. Juwan Johnson, Estime, or Alec Pierce. I'll go Estime there, but I think Juwan Johnson's in play. QSM, PPR, regular flex, Jacoby, McBride, Stack, or Purdy. I'll go Brock Purdy still. Try not to tilt after starting Jacob and leaving K9 on my bench. Yeah, it happens, man. These range of outcomes are for real. Gasman asks, Michael Wilson, Tracy, Juwan, pick 2. I'll go with Michael Wilson and Tyrone Tracy, but I really like Juwan Jennings. Jay Hawley asks, Gadsden, Waller, or Juwan Johnson for me. No Devon Vele, no backs. Shuck looks good. Bogus edits. He needs advice. Full PPR receiver. Okay. Godwin. So Evans is the best receiver there. And then your tight end, Pitts or Kittle. I'm on George Kittle with Drake London back. And then your flex would be Pitts, Jefferson, or Godwin. Oh, man. That depends on what life you want to live. I'll say Justin Jefferson. I think Pick'em Lobby would also support that decision. but you know what you're signing up for. Evans and Kittle are the for sure plays. 47 pricey. Michael Wilson, London, Dowdle, a wide receiver and a flex. I think London's got to be in there. And then if this is full PPR, I want Michael Wilson. If it's half PPR, I think I'll go Rico Dowdle, though. DRK, need a flex. Coker, Pittman, Godwin, Evan, Hold. Okay, not Hull, not Godwin. Yeah, it's Coker or Pittman. Depends on what. They're about the same. I think that Coker has like probably a better chance of getting like 100 yards or something crazy like that. I think I would just go Coker. It's really close though. Pittman's kind of stuck with the Phillip Rivers of it all. Ryan Ruiz, Tracy, or Jacoby Myers in your flex. Oh, goodness. Full PPR, I'll just take the Jacoby Myers points. AAM Doff. Addison Diggs, Jordan Mason, Vidal, Matt Collins, Kincaid. Okay. So the Jordan Mason stuff, he's rotating drives. So I can show you this. So like last week, Jordan Mason got a full drive, scored a touchdown on that. Is that enough? I like that more than Kamani Vidal. Kincaid would be interesting. If he was fully healthy, ready to go, that would be a lot more interesting to me. I think I might just go Kincaid. Read up on the Dalton Kincaid, the latest update on his injury status, though. Goff or Lamar? I'm on Lamar. I thought he looked awesome on tape last week. He looked healthy. Thomas, thank you. Metal, DK, Wilson, London, Standard. I'm on Drake London, highest team total. There's no reason to play him unless he's healthy. So it is what it is. Joe, Pickens or London? Yeah, I'm just going to go with George Pickens. He's slightly higher in my rankings. They both look awesome. You're in a good spot. Johnny, half PPR, extra punishing for mistakes, fumble. Okay. Brissett versus Dak. I'm on Dak Prescott. Harvey versus Dowdle. I'm on Harvey. And who to flex, Olave or Pickens. That one's really close. I'm on George Pickens, but hopefully Pickens doesn't, Pickens wants to fumble that football. That's what he likes to do. Randy DeBeast, Amari Hampton, Woody Marks at Emeka, Woody Marks to the bench, choose two, the other two. A. Cunningham, sit Dowdle, Genty, and Abdullah. Yeah, I'll sit Amir Abdullah. I get it that he was in there. He's catching some passes. I'll still sit him. Hollywood Brown's back in the lineup. He's going to start. Pat Bryant, Coker, BTJ. You're sitting one there. I think I'll still sit Hollywood. We're talking about he's so inconsistent, man. Good luck, Cunningham. Jimbo Slice again. Marks, Judkins, Michael Carter, full PPR. Michael Carter, Judkins, same exact tier. I think I'll go Judkins, but I mean, it's close. Yeah, really close. I'll go Judkins. The Wizard, standard pick one, Waddle, Harrison, and Mecca, BTJ. I'm on Marvin Harrison. I don't think he's going to be fully himself, but you don't have to be fully yourself when you got Jacoby Brissett as your quarterback. That's just the reality of the situation. So, all boom bust. Griffin Face, had Puka play already, was thinking I should go the running back the highest for. Do you think that'd be Genty or Carter? Oh, they're about the same to me. Pick them lobby-wise at 73 and 72 total yards. Michael Carter, his range of outcomes is wider because, Amari DiMercado could all of a sudden just be the lead back. That will not be the case with Genty. Now, the big difference is the freaking Raiders are projected for 12 points. 12 points. This is Tulane. This is James Madison. That's what's happening right now with the Raiders. I'll go Genty, but it's really close. Saints or Chiefs D. I think I'll just go Chiefs defense against a rookie quarterback that's been struggling. Spags. Okay. 4PF. Hey, Josh, half PPR and sure to go T or Wilson at the flex. Do you think Marvin Harrison will get limited snaps? Um, I think there's a chance Marvin Harrison gets limited snaps. I like T. Higgins the best at the flex, and then Warren or Michael Carter. I'm on Michael Carter. All right, I got to set my own lineups here in a second too, so hopefully we only have a couple questions left. Debating full PPR, Waller, Gadsden, Hawk, likely full PPR. I'm on Darren Waller there. Couple more weaves unless we're done. Robotics. Who should I go for? Pitts, Judkins, Carter. I would go with the running backs there. John Smith, Javonte, Bucky, Rico, Woody, or Chubb. Okay, so I like Javonte. I like Bucky, and I'll still go Rico over Nick Chubb, but that one's. Do I have that? It's really close to my rankings. Yeah, that one's tough. Rico Dowdle, Nick Chubb, they're back to back in my rankings. Let's see if we got the Pick'em lobby to do the last Nick Chubb. I'm guessing we haven't updated it yet, but let's see if we have anything here. Nick Chubb. I'm taking the higher there. Okay. I have a profit boost. I'm playing this. If you guys want this, here's this. I think that's too low. I think Nick Chubb is going to get a bunch of the work. I'm going to move because I respect the Pick'em lobby so much. I'm moving Nick Chubb down a couple spots. Oh, man. All right. Nick Chubb, final answer, running back 27. I can't get to all these things. Go over to Underdog Network. I'll put this in the chat. You got 4 minutes to set your lineups. All this is free every single week. We'll be back with a ton of updates for tonight's show. I'll get rankings done before Christmas. Good luck. Let's get to the finals out there. Sorry we couldn't get to everything, but there was like 300, 400 paid questions. Tried my best. Okay. Promo code the show, Pick'em lobby stuff. Go read, do your own research. Good luck to the Nick Chubbers out there. Let's get to the finals. Peace.